Here we
Yeah.
go.
You don't talk shit about Snowlight in front of Bigby Wolf.
Oh God, no.
Don't be so sure.
He has a thing for her.
Oh yeah, he does. Hi everyone, welcome back to Player Guides. I'm Hannah,
I am Cameron.
And I'm Nate.
and I am playing The Wolf Among Us. Assassin's Creed 3 is on hiatus while we are all in self-isolation. I started Wolf Among Us during our Extra Life live stream last November, played it again in December, and we're moving forward with the rest of the game because I'm really enjoying it. We are currently trying to solve the murder of
I'm looking for the
Faith,
Woodsmen.
a.k.a.
he's not
Donkeyskin
here.
Girl.
So I guess you can go now.
Yeah,
And,
her head wound up
Her head
on
wound
our
up
doorstep.
on our doorstep, literally.
I just want to know the last time he was
So we
here.
are currently
That's
looking
all.
for the Woodsman, and he was last seen at this bar.
And this gentleman at the bar we bumped into when we were going
hasn't
back
been
to
here for a few
Assistant Mayor Crane's office.
Correct. And when I
No,
played it during the live stream, I ripped off his
I
arm.
don't know.
I
But
won't be
yeah,
doing that
he
this time
hasn't been
around.
here in a while.
Yes.
If he's been
Hopefully.
here at
That's
all,
frowned
which-
upon.
Generally, it's rude.
It's a little rude, but
And-
he's starting shit.
This lady is Holly,
Yes.
Just like some help, and I'll be out of here.
and we don't know
I'd be
in
willing
game
to
yet
help you
what
out.
she is, but she's clearly
Yeah, I know.
in the know with fables and all that stuff. So, when we ended last
This is her
episode, Nate,
bar.
you and I were you were just about to share an interesting bit of research that you just did about. We were talking about fairy tales versus myths and how we viewed them.
Yes. So I was just saying, I was looking some stuff up, and there's more than just, fairy tale. There's fables, fairy
I don't know who
tales,
you're
folk
talking
tales,
One with the
sagas,
bald head
epics,
and the
legends, and what they call
Never seen
etiologic
them.
tales, which refer to causes or explain why things are the way they are. And based on all the things I've been reading, there is no one definitive difference
A lot
or
of these
border
walk out the
between
door.
any of those genres.
Yeah,
It's just a matter
it's
of
called Avatar.
how seminal or how important they are
He'll
to
get
your
a
culture.
refund.
Fuck you. The word's
Um,
getting out.
Basically,
You'll never
as
guess
in my
who
personal
found the other
opinion,
one of these.
No.
myths are things that happened so long ago that nobody has like the true details, and it's kind of accepted that it's not really well known, but it is accepted as it did happen to some degree. Whereas fairy tales are considered entirely
Someone who
fictitious.
left.
They never happened. They could never happen. It didn't happen in this world. Whatever.
Enough already. Just
And
tell
then
me
everything
what it
else
is.
might be
I told
some like
I don't
legends might not be as long ago as myths. So like there might be a couple variations, but it's still agreed that it happened in this general outline of events, that kind of thing.
Oh, interesting. And then like tall tales fit somewhere
Wanna
on that
solve the
spectrum.
mystery for you.
Yeah.
They're pickled
It's just a matter of
Well, I
focus,
know what they
scope,
are.
scale, and
just
length
trying
of
to figure out
time.
why anyone
It was,
would eat this.
how long it's been around.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah,
Huff and
I
puff.
guess technically, mythology could also be a part of this world if they really wanted to, but they would be extremely powerful.
Yeah, going into like the lore of the universe, there's
Come on. Have you seen the Woodsmen?
there's another group of characters that get
I
introduced
don't
later
know
on
who
called
that
the
is.
literals,
Big guy,
which
beard,
are
flannel, kind of a shitbag.
super powerful, and they're
Yes,
like
sir.
human concepts
don't know?
personified rather than like specific stories.
Very
So-
profound.
Yeah, the
About to buy you a drink.
way like magic works in this universe is pretty vague, but that's one of the things I like about it is they don't try and
Well, it's a
make
soft magic
magic.
system.
Huh?
Yeah. It's what they call a soft
soft
magic,
magic.
system.
Exactly.
And that's usually the best way to play it unless you're into making pretty much a board game set of rules in your own story.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes I like that
A
also.
lot of stools
Oh,
in
yeah.
this place.
What is it I'm reading right now? Stormlight Archive and
There's only
anything in the
one coming
Cosmere
for you.
by Brandon Sanderson is all considered hard magic systems,
You
but
gonna
he is
order
a
something,
master at
Or
building
you
them.
just here to bother my customer?
You've talked to me about the series a couple times, and I still, unfortunately, have to admit that I've not read one of the books in that series. So the Cosmere is a larger meta series, right?
Yeah, the Cosmere is basically his entirety of his fictional works. They are technically all in the same universe, but they
Well,
all happen
I
on
don't
different
got any
planets
anyway.
at different times.
Do they tie in
funny.
in any particular way?
Think it's fucking
Actually,
hilarious.
yes. In the cosmology, I guess, in
alright.
terms of the gods, all of the gods are fractions of the original god,
I don't want to be here.
and they all
Don't
got
want me here.
shattered
The sooner you
into
answer my
pairs,
question,
into triplets,
sooner I'll be
and
out
there
of
are
here.
3 gods per planet in the Cosmere. There is usually 2 opposites and then a central neutral deity as well. And they are just slivers of infinity, essentially. And then beyond that, there are other characters that can world hop, and they kind of show up in the background, or they even might play a bigger role in
you're out of
some
paper
series, but
towels
you
in
can see them. But he might not ever tell you that that's who they are. They might, he might give you a physical description. They might drop a name that they stole from another character from the first series you saw them in. It's crazy. Just cameos everywhere. Super fun.
Saved you beer
Oh.
for you.
All right.
Now
Probably
it's
wanted
time
hear
to
it, but, I said,
interrogate the Woodsman gently.
Yes. Yeah.
now here you
You're
are.
trying to play a nicer, friendlier big bad wolf. Rebranding.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and that seems like it's having better luck for the most part.
Yeah, if you can stand it like long enough,
Woody.
because sometimes I feel like it's really frustrating because you got to play nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're definitely characters like this gentleman that are just real assholes for you.
Yeah. And there are some people you have to fight, and
Look,
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
were saying I just want to talk.
I should have, and
starting to get a
I'm
little
sorry.
cranky. I've got questions. I'm not leaving without
Oh
answers.
no, Bigby, you worked on your anger management.
But I think there's going to be a fight either way, because there
Maybe
was a
he'll
fight
wanna
after
talk to
the
you.
talking.
Why don't we let
So
him tell me that?
the Woodsman tries to step in. He says it's okay. Grendel is like, well, no.
Yeah, okay, so Grendel is definitely not mythology, but like folktale,
yeah.
It's funny.
like Norse
Just a minute
folktale.
ago, No
Yeah.
one seemed to know who you were.
Although, I don't know what I was expecting when he turns into
Everyone knows
himself,
you.
but it wasn't that.
Like some sort of fish monster.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Yeah, Grendel is actually, he's kind of like an ogre demon giant
Come on, Woody.
monster
know why I'm
thing in the original
Playing
story.
hardball with
I
him
s-
today.
Things, sure.
Am
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
The shit you're willing to
Last time he
do
said
for
you'd
money.
play the hand that you're dealt, and he'd
Walked
reminisced
past that
on.
place for weeks.
Oh yeah, here.
It's
So
still here.
this is the Woodsman talking about. We thought at first he
We
was
thought it
talking about Faith.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's the grandma
Fight.
for Little Red Riding Hood.
I was gonna rob her.
God, he looks
then I'd
awful. I
finally
did a
get
job
up
on
and
him.
Yeah.
Do it.
Whew-wee.
Well, imagine like
Look how good I look.
Yeah.
I look beautiful.
he did have an axe in the
Place
back
for
of the
a
head.
long time.
So this was a robbery.
You were planning on robbing her? Yeah. Her and her grandma. Grandma? Wait, what are you talking about? Red Riding Hood. Her grandmother.
Which,
there to rob
this
her.
is kind of a cool twist in the
showed
story, because, like,
Already there.
it makes,
Lying in the bed.
it's
I only
logical, it
saved
makes
her 'cause
sense.
I
Yeah.
thought you might give me a reward.
Why else would he be there? It's
didn't
funny.
give me
I like
shit.
it.
Except bunch
A
of
lot
people
of the
thinking something
that's
I
something they talk about in the
ain't.
comics
Played
is
along
that
as long as I could.
um,
Only thing I managed to get from it was a free drink every now and
the
again.
actual stories are different than it's not just that the story changes throughout the years as it's passed down amongst like cultures, but it's also that the reality is different than the stories.
No,
The
yeah,
most
I was here.
the biggest like
Doesn't look good when a girl you were
divergence
just knocking around
that
shows
comes
up
to my
dead
mind
hours later.
is Snow White's story, like what actually happened to her versus the story we tell.
Yeah.
Bigby, listen,
And that I think that probably doesn't get touched on a ton in the
Know
game.
that.
It's more of a comic
I
book
hit
thing.
that girl. I did. I shouldn't have, but I didn't kill her. You believe me, right?
I like the
They're gonna
Woodsman's
string
beard,
me
though.
up, Bigby. You said it looks
Very
fucking
full-bodied.
bad. It looks really bad,
Well, he has the
but
bald
I
and
didn't
beard
do
look
it.
going, and I like
He was
that.
here.
Looks good on guys.
That's the fucking truth, Sheriff.
Certain guys,
You see?
and I don't know if everyone can pull it
Please.
off.
Not everyone.
You can't. They'll throw me down the witching well. That's what they'll do.
And Cameron, what
I
did you say
didn't
the
do
witching
it.
well was?
You know that.
The witching well is the way you can permanently execute a
All right,
fable.
here we go. This is the fight with Grendel.
Hey,
And did
So-
they ever explain how that worked?
this isn't what I want.
I do not
Shut the
remember.
fuck
It's
up,
magic.
Woody. Shit ain't just about you. It's about this fucking lapdog.
And that means Grendel's
Come
got a bunch
sniffing
of
around
glamour
this
spells
part
on
of
him
town with
too.
rich
Yes.
Somehow.
The woodlands need a shakedown. Ain't that right, Bigby? It's not like that. There are problems with the way things go.
Although
I get
his
it.
mom is actually more
That's got
powerful than
nothing
he
to
is,
do
so
with what's happening right
Yeah,
now.
she might be one of the witches on the
Sister
13th
goes
floor.
missing.
It's
No
like
one gives
a
two shits
coven.
about her. Paperwork, waiting rooms, and that bitch Snowlight
There's
looking
one
right
called
past
Frau
me, then ushering
Kinder,
me out the
who's
fucking
like the
door.
representative of like every generic bad witch,
It's happened
and she's like the
before,
strongest
and
of the
it
coven,
doesn't end
and she's
well.
awesome.
I didn't realize you were the bitch of the bitch.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
All you got.
You don't talk shit about Snowlight in front of Bigby Wolf.
Oh God, no.
Don't be so sure.
He has a thing for her.
Oh yeah, he does.
and so they can drop their glamour when they want.
Yes.
It depends on the spell, but yeah.
But Bigby gets beat up a little bit, and then he like goes full on wolf,
You're
and
scaring
it's
the lady.
awesome.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
me.
And she's a troll.
Oh, grab the.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. You got it. Yeah, you're right. Grendel does look a lot like.
He kind of reminds me of the Boogeyman.
Yeah, from like Night Before Christmas.
The way his like teeth are.
Yeah.
I can see
Like,
that.
he's more organic than that. Than like, I think it's the way his arm is like sewn onto him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready?
Oh,
I think he looks kind of like a bad street shark. Like, cause
I
he
can
got
see
like the
that.
shark teeth and the
see
fin.
Yeah.
oh God.
Yeah.
The violence in this game, though, like, holy shit.
Is that like praise or criticism?
It's a lot. I'll admit that it's a lot. Probably a little too much sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. This is coming from
But
someone
it's still
who
a very well done game.
Loved Doom.
Yeah, would you say this was more violent or less violent than like Doom and
I say
Assassin's
the
Creed?
graphics. This goes, I think, a little more than Doom. Doom is very quick. This is because it's more.
They can do better camera angles
Correct.
with the way
yeah,
the game
because
works.
It's like you're watching a movie, then it's a little much.
Interesting. What about comparing this to something similar in the genre like Indiana Jones? Would you say this is more graphic than Indiana Jones, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Indiana Jones is just squares moving on the
Yeah,
screen.
fair enough. Although I'll say you don't stress out playing this the way you did Indiana Jones.
That's true.
I've also been done doing this part. This is the fourth time I've done this.
The
So
fourth
it's a
time
little
you've done
more
did this.
Yeah, it's a little more
done did it.
familiar.
He's had
Indiana
enough.
Jones was like a one time through.
I still remember the first time we got to like the Pac-Man type play with the Nazis.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that was our first big freak out of the entire channel.
That
Yeah.
was awful.
It was great.
It was a fantastic episode.
Everything I
think
hoped
it's like
it would be.
episode like 21 or something of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
first, somewhere up there.
So all of these guys,
Double.
well, except for the Woodsman, because she would have a glamour spell too. So all of these guys, right? They clearly don't have the money for the decent glamour spells, so they're getting them. My theory is that they're getting them from someone else, whether they're good or bad, because they don't look like they have the funds to keep making it work.
Yeah, that's an
Submit a
an
damage report
interesting
to my office. Fable.
theory.
Hot take.
Maybe we do find out later on in the game that this is all related to like black market glamour.
Maybe, because I'm wondering if that's one reason why
Don't
they're able
even
to
think about it.
change out of it so quickly.
Is this the type of treatment
Because
I
it's
can
not a
expect if I
high
let
end.
you take me in?
I'd say, yeah.
Because the beast,
No. If you come quietly, you'll be treated
the
with
beast,
respect.
when
It
he
turns
starts
out
to change, it's not
you killed that
the
girl.
full thing immediately.
Yeah.
It's very slow because he's getting the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's just my theory.
That's an interesting theory.
Here's Tweedledee.
Okay, so here's where you have a decision to make. And I'm of the opinion you should stick with what you did last time because I think it was the right thing. But if you're
I
curious,
agree. No, because Tweedledee will tell us about Georgie, and we get to interview him, and I get the money to give to the Little Mermaid, and it's better. I'm curious to whose band, though, who that photo is, what fable that is.
It might be Prince Charming. I couldn't
With
see
the
the picture.
glasses.
Oh, no. Who you pick? Oh, did you pick? Oh, no. Okay.
Him.
Fuck, man! That's not necessary! Shit. He's the one you want, not me!
Your brother won't be saving you this time. Come on. You're under arrest.
I told you
Okay.
I
So
didn't
we
do it.
got Tweedle
D.
dipshit.
Sure. I mean, would you call Alice in Wonderland a fairy tale, though?
Yeah. I mean, if Frog and like Wind in the
More than
Willows is
mythology.
considered, that's like that was a novel.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I tried reading the actual book, Alice in Wonderland.
It is an
couldn't do
acid
it.
trip.
I couldn't
Yeah.
get through it.
It's definitely
Do anything stupid, and I'll throw you down the witching well
Like-
myself.
yeah. It was a struggle for me to get through the first time around.
Okay.
Oh, what was it? I read through Dante's Inferno. That was a hard read. I liked
Yeah.
it, but it was really hard to read.
Yeah. And Dante's Inferno is awesome because it's such a good like it's considered such a high form of storytelling,
That's
but
deep.
at the time it was like he was angry and he wanted to write fan fiction where he punished the Pope.
Yeah, and then just people he didn't like.
Yeah. Guess
He was
what?
also very
In my
Roman, so
book,
fuck the Greeks.
you're all going to hell.
Exactly.
All right. So this will be the end of chapter 1.
Yes. We did it.
Big reveal. We
For
did
real.
it. We did it for real.
Oh no,
There it
who could
is.
it be? Oh my gosh, what a twist! Snow White?
Girlfriend's gone.
Man, this prequel series to the comic books where Snow White is definitely a recurring main character and focal point doesn't pull any punches. No
All right,
one's safe.
So on that note, we'll call that an episode.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Thank
Right on,
you.
guys. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.